Chapter 2. According to our spinach reports, it was Abuji's brother who got us into this mess. Even though Jong and I aren't allowed in on family affairs, when we managed to piece things together, especially since the walls that separate the rooms in our house are as thin as rice crackers. Let me back up to give you a little history. Abuji and Oma came to America when Jong and I were three. Abuji had been a chemist, so he wasn't too thrilled with Oma's idea of opening a grocery, even though his PhD friends Mr. Park and Miss Park and Miss no, and Mr. Lee also had stores. But he but when he couldn't find a position in chemistry, he went along with Oma's idea, grumbling all the way. Oma named our store Kim's Green Extravaganza. We sold all sorts of veggies and fruits and went mental about keeping them extra fresh. The moment something got even a little soft or had one tiny little bruise, we either gave it away to friends or took it home. To this day, I'm haunted by the spongy taste of overripe apples. The other thing about the store was that we sold stuff our customers needed. Soap for one, tiny cans of cat food, cigarettes, fat-free cookies. Oma even went so far as to ask for suggestions. Abaji complained that people would think we didn't know how to run a business. But the stuff Oma ordered from people's suggestions almost always become regular sellers. I guess we were doing pretty well because Abuji's mom and his brother, Bong, eventually came from Korea to live with us. At first, I wasn't too thrilled to be sharing the house with two strangers, but Grandma Harmony grew on me. She pattered around here in her stocking feet, and when I came home from school, I could hear her singing wafting through the open windows. Some of my best memories are of sitting with her in the kitchen. Young would be at her flute lessons, so it was just Harmony and me, surrounded by pungent Korean food smells. Ginger, garlic, sesame oil. She would chop, smash, fry, and boil like a maniac, while she told me stories about animals, why frogs croak in the rain, how the Rat King found the perfect husband for his daughter. Bong told stories too. They were all about this guy, Joker Kim, who can't stop himself from doing weird and or stupid things, like he pick his nose and then get bombed when a glob of snot fell in his rice. Jong and I hated it when he called us over and say, "Did you hear the one about when Joker Kim went to the bathroom?" I always had the feelings Abuji was not thrilled with his brother either. It was clear that Bong cared only about Bong. He never made his bed. He splattered toothpaste all over the bathroom. The closest he ever came to helping with the dishes was one time when he brought his glass within 100-yard vicinity of the sink. At the store he wasn't much better. Once a whole crate of clementine oranges disappeared when he was supposed to be watching them. But Abuji just made his regular guy, Manuel, pick up the slack. Abuji led Bong to do his things all the way until he stopped showing up for work. Then Abuji fired him. After that, Bong just drifted in and out of the house, sometimes disappearing for days at a time. Occasionally, 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 he coming with his face looking like a bruised piece of fruit and smelling like heaving smoke and picklet. Everything in the house somehow managed to stay its course until Harmony died. I think Harmony kept a lead on whatever grudges lurked between Abuji and Bong. Once she was gone, I could hear them arguing long into the night. Bong started reading these magazines, small business owner, entrepreneur, that he left behind totally in the bathroom. One day he announced that he was now the now the proud owner of a convenience store somewhere up in Minnesota. The next thing we knew, poof, he was gone, and we had some peace. Of course, the next thing we knew, poof, Bong turned up in Korea with some scheme about pixie making robots he found through an 800 number. Hello, it was so important. He didn't have time to tell anyone. He didn't have the time this to sell the store back in Minnesota. He promised that one day he'd be rich and pay everyone back. It was at this point that Oma found out that Apogee had loaned Bong had a wad of money to buy the store, a franchise. In fact, Bong had convinced Apogee to basically stake him all of the money, since he didn't have any of his own. That was when Jong and I got the news that we were moving. Apogee keeps telling us that he's been looking for an excuse to get out of LA anyway. It's too crowded, too many merchants getting shoot in their stores. The new place is going to be quite safe, secure. Small town, good schools, no more big city problems. It gets to me that Abuji even pretends he's doing this for Jong and me, almost always saying, "Your father sacrificed so much for you. Look at how hard he works at the store. It's all for you children." If that's true, then he doesn't have to do this. He could sacrifice less and we could stay in LA. And would be fine with me. And that would be fine with me. I would have said this out loud, but I knew no one would have listened it.